Thanks to Scribe for sponsoring today's video, more on them later. I'm always on the lookout for iPhone tips and tricks that feel impressive or take your usage to the next level. But sometimes the best tips aren't flashy at all, they're just genuinely useful. They solve small frustrations and make your iPhone that bit more enjoyable to use every single day. That's what we're focusing on in this video, 10 iPhone tips and tricks that are genuinely useful and that I think most iPhone owners have no idea about. Okay, let's get into it. Let's say you're working on something and you know that you need to finish it by 12 noon. You want a constant visual reminder on your iPhone showing how long you've got left until that deadline. You could set a timer, but the problem is you'd have to work out exactly how much time there is between now and 12 noon. There's actually a much easier way to do this. Just enable Siri and say, set a timer to finish at 12 noon. You'd obviously change the end time to whatever applies to you. Siri will then start a timer that runs from the current time right up until that specific end time. That way, whenever you glance at your phone, you can see exactly how long you have left before the deadline. The Reminders app on your iPhone hasn't always been great at handling really urgent tasks, mainly because the notifications are easy to miss. A recent update improves this by introducing urgent reminders. So when you mark a reminder as urgent, your iPhone will trigger an alarm at the due time, making it much harder to ignore. To set this up, create a reminder as you normally would. Go into the relevant reminders list, tap the plus button, and give the reminder a name. Once you've done that, tap the small I or information button on the right-hand side to open the details view. In the date and time section, you'll see an option called Urgent. Toggle this on. When you do, date and time will also be enabled because you need to set a deadline for this to work. Tap into the date and time fields to choose when the task is due, then press the blue tick in the upper right corner as you normally would. The reminder is created just like any other, but when the deadline arrives, your iPhone will trigger an alarm. That makes it much easier to stay on top of important tasks and much harder to miss them. Oh, very quickly, if you watch videos like this and think, well, that's great, but I'll definitely forget it later, I've made something to fix that. I send one short free iPhone tip every day direct to your inbox. It's called the Daily Swipe. It takes 30 seconds to read, and it genuinely helps you remember and actually use tips like the ones in this video. Just scan the QR code on screen or tap the link in the description to join for free. I'm sure you already know how to record your iPhone screen, but if not, here's a quick refresher. Go into Control Center, long press to enter edit mode and choose Add a Control. Make sure that screen recording is added to your Control Center. From there, whenever you want to record your screen, just open Control Center and tap the screen recording button. Your iPhone will capture everything that you do on screen and save it as a video, which you can then share with someone else. The problem is that these recordings are just video, so if you're trying to create a quick tutorial for someone, there's no voice explaining what's going on. There is an easy fix for that. Instead of tapping the screen recording button, long press on it. At the bottom, you'll see a microphone option. Tap this to turn the microphone on, then press Start Recording. Your screen will be recorded as normal, but this time it will also capture anything picked up by your microphone. That means that you can talk someone through the steps as you go. One important thing to mention is that this setting stays on until you change it. So if you enable the microphone now and record another screen capture tomorrow, it will still record your voice unless you turn it off. If you usually prefer screen recordings without audio, just remember to go back in and disable the microphone when you're finished. That last tip is really handy if you want to show someone how to do something on their iPhone without having to be there with them. And if you ever need to do that on a Mac or a PC, you should absolutely check out Scribe, who are sponsoring today's video. So this happens all the time to me. A teammate, friend, or family member sends me a message asking for help with something. Maybe they want to know how to do something in a Google Sheets document, for example. Instead of having to jump on a call and show them, or spend hours writing out steps and copying and pasting screenshots, I can use Scribe. Scribe records your workflow in real time and automatically builds a step-by-step guide that anyone can follow. No extra steps required. So that means I can just do the thing that I'm trying to illustrate, and Scribe takes care of the rest, giving me a shareable guide, complete with screenshots, steps, and everything others need to follow it themselves. Because let's be honest, showing people the same things over and over again is frustrating and time-consuming, and that's why I really like Scribe. Plus, you can easily share the guides with an online link, and if you update the guide in the future, everyone will see the updated version right away. And they even have a Guide Me feature that pulls Scribe straight into your browser with interactive step-by-step walkthroughs. See exactly where to click and move through each step as you go. Why not work smarter and move faster, just like over 5 million already do with Scribe? Head to scribe.how/properhonest or click the link in the description to get started for free. Let's say you mostly keep your iPhone in silent mode. Maybe it lives in your pocket for most of the day, and you'd like a way to tell when a specific contact is calling or messaging you without looking at the screen. You might not realize this, but you can set a custom vibration for individual contacts. To do this, open the Contacts app and find the contact that you want to customize. Tap Edit in the top right corner, then scroll down to the ringtone and text tone section. You'll need to set these separately for calls and messages, but the process is the same. For this example, tap ringtone. Next, tap haptics, which will usually be set to default. You can choose from a number of preset vibration patterns or tap create new vibration at the bottom. Then tap on the screen to start creating your own pattern. You'll see a blue progress bar at the bottom showing how much time you have left. When you're finished, you can press play to test it, record to try again, the X in the top left to cancel, or save to keep it. If you tap save, you'll be asked to give it a name. Once you do that, the custom vibration is assigned to that contact. From then on, whenever that person calls you, that specific vibration will play, giving you a quick way to know who's calling without even taking your phone out of your pocket. Maybe you're a bit like me and you take photos of receipts with your iPhone thinking that you'll organize them later in the Notes app, but never actually get around to it. The result is a photo library full of receipts, and when you need to find one, it is surprisingly hard to track down. There's a really quick way to locate them. Open the Photos app and tap Collections in the bottom left corner. Scroll down to the Utility section and tap into it. In there, you'll see an option called Receipts. Tap on that and anything that your iPhone recognizes as a receipt will be gathered in one place, making it much easier to find what you're looking for. This doesn't just work for receipts either. If you go back, you'll see similar sections for things like handwriting, illustrations, and QR codes. Just tap into whichever category you need. Let's say you were recently working on a calculation in the Calculator app and you need that figure again. If you open the Calculator app, you'll see a small clock icon in the top left corner. That's your calculator history. Tap on it and you'll see your recent calculations. If you tap on one, it will be placed straight back into the calculator. You've also got a couple of extra options. If you long press on a calculation, you can copy just the expression, copy just the result, or delete it if you don't want it appearing in your calculator history anymore. The Passwords app on your iPhone is, in my opinion, a bit of a hidden gem. It gives you everything you'd expect from a modern password manager in a really clean app that's built in and free. Because it's linked to your Apple ID, anything that you do in here syncs across all of your other Apple devices. One of the most useful features is how quickly you can find a password that you've recently created or edited. If you open the Passwords app and tap All in the top left corner, you'll see that by default, everything is sorted alphabetically by website. That can make it really tricky to find something specific. If you tap the up and down arrow in the bottom left corner, you'll see sorting options. Choose Date Created, and the most recently created passwords will appear at the top. Choose Date Edited, and the most recently edited ones will appear at the top instead. So if you've just created or updated something, this is a really fast way to locate it. Once you've found the login that you need, tap into it. If you want to view the password, tap where it says Password, unlock with Face ID or Touch ID if prompted, and you can then see it, copy it, or do whatever you need. Let's say you've taken a screenshot or a photo and you want to share it with someone, but you need to highlight a specific part of it. You might not realize this, but your iPhone has a magnification tool built in. Open the image in the Photos app. Whether it's a screenshot or a photo, the process is the same. Tap Edit at the bottom of the screen, then tap the pen icon in the top right to open Markup. You'll see a row of pens and tools along the bottom. Tap the plus button on the right-hand side and choose Add Loop. A magnification loop will appear on the image. You can drag it around with your finger to position it where you need it, use the blue handle to resize the loop, and the green handle to adjust the level of magnification. You can also tap the line button to change the thickness and color of the outline if you want. When you're done, press the blue tick in the top right to save your changes, then share the image as you normally would. Shared albums are one of the best features of the Apple ecosystem, in my opinion. I've got one set up with my wife where we add all of the photos of our kids. We can both upload to it whenever we like and view it from any of our Apple devices. The reason this works so well is because we both use iPhones. If you've ever been on a trip with friends who use Android, you'll know that shared albums aren't much use in that situation because you can't add Android users to them. There is, however, a really quick way to share photos and videos with Android users straight from the Photos app. So let's say you've just been on a trip and you want to share some media. Tap Select at the top, choose the photos that you want, then press the Share button in the bottom left. Scroll down and tap Copy iCloud Link. An iCloud link will be created for the selected media. The slightly confusing part is that once it's created, nothing obvious happens. It can look like it hasn't worked. In reality, the media has been uploaded to an iCloud web page and the link has been copied to your clipboard. You can then paste that link into WhatsApp, email, or anywhere else and share it. Anyone with the link can view and download that media for up to 30 days. If you want to manage that link, go to the Collections view in the Photos app and tap your Apple ID in the top right corner. In there, you'll see a section called iCloud Links. If you've created more than one, you can tap in to see them all. Select the link that you just made, then tap the ellipsis to copy it again, or choose Stop Sharing to remove access immediately. If you don't stop sharing manually, the link will remain active for 30 days before it's automatically removed. This last tip is quite similar to the previous one. Let's say that someone comes to your house and they want to join your Wi-Fi, but they're using a non-Apple device. It can be a bit more awkward to share your Wi-Fi details, but the Passwords app makes this really simple. Open the Passwords app and from the main screen, tap into Wi-Fi. Find your Wi-Fi network and tap on it, then choose Show Network QR Code. Your iPhone will generate a QR code for that network. All your guest needs to do is scan the QR code using their device in the usual way, and they'll see a prompt asking if they want to join your Wi-Fi network. So there you go, that was 10 tips and tricks for the iPhone that I think are genuinely useful and will help you to get more out of your iPhone. What about you? Anything new here? Or any tips and tricks that you think I should have included but didn't? Drop me a comment and let me know. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.